From the Himalayan mountains to the boundless skies and across the seas, India stands vigilant, prepared for any multi-front conflict or a war with China. In response to border skirmishes with China in the mountains and its aggressive moves in the Indian Ocean, India has not only boosted the strength of its defensive infrastructure, but it also is acquiring more advanced warplanes as well as warships. Let's start with the situation at the high seas. And the latest addition to its arsenal will be a nearly $5 billion aircraft carrier, marking India's determination to further secure her position as the dominant force in the Indian Ocean region. Reports say that India's defense leadership, headed by the Minister Rajnath Singh, is on the verge of approving the acquisition of another indigenously manufactured warship. This new carrier, capable of housing up to 28 fighter jets and helicopters, including the high-performance Rafale jets, will significantly enhance India's naval capabilities. It would be India's third aircraft carrier, alongside the Russian-built INS Vikramaditya and the INS Vikrant. Remember, just last year, India inducted its first made-in-India aircraft carrier, the INS Vikrant, a formidable vessel in India's naval fleet. The formation of a three-carrier battle group will be a great show of military might by the Indian Navy, and it also holds particular importance, especially in the light of the Chinese Navy's growing belligerence, particularly in the Indian Ocean region. The Indian Ocean is already heavily militarized. As many as 125 Navy ships from the US, France, Japan roam its waters at any given time. The waters of India have not seen such intense competition since World War II, as both China and the US, along with its allies, deploy more warships in the area. And this is why India must and is upping its game. The waters surrounding India have not witnessed such heightened competition since the days of World War II, but both China and the US, along with their respective allies, have been intensifying their naval presence in the region. In response to this maritime dynamic, India must be prepared. What's the current state of India's maritime readiness then? Looking ahead, India has set some very ambitious goals. It aims to have 160 warships by 2030 and will further expand its fleet to 175 warships by 2035. This shows the scale of India's naval ambitions. Right now, over 60 vessels of the Indian Navy are in various stages of construction. Not just that, the Indian Navy has also greatly increased its maritime patrols, extending its watchful eyes over critical waterways. New Delhi has also made some crucial upgrades to the runway facilities at the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, enabling aircraft to operate during the night, thereby enhancing the Navy's operational flexibility. These steps are specifically geared towards strengthening India's surveillance capabilities over the narrow water straits of Malacca, Sunda and Lombok in the southern Indian Ocean. The strategic significance of this island chain cannot be overstated. It's a vital conduit for India and its regional partners engaged in maritime surveillance operations. It shows India's commitment to maintaining a vigilant and assertive presence in the maritime domain. Let's now move on to the skies. The defense panel has cleared a massive deal in a big boost for both the military as well as defense production in India. 97 additional Tejas aircraft and 156 Prachand attack helicopters have been acquired. Both aircraft are made in India. The Tejas Mark 1A fighters are slated for deployment within the Indian Air Force, while the helicopters will serve both the Air Force and the Army, fortifying the aerial capabilities of India's armed forces. Additional deals, including for anti-ship missiles and towed gun systems, have also been approved. This is the largest order that indigenous manufacturers have received in India's history. Just let that sink in. It highlights two important aspects of India's strategy. Firstly, India is reinforcing its defense capabilities against potential threats. Secondly, India is doing that by taking big strides towards self-reliance in defense. Moving on to the third and final frontier, the land. The Indian Army has it covered. There has been a four-fold increase in India's expenditure on border infrastructure since Prime Minister Modi came to power in 2014. It's not surprising. Just have a look at what the Chinese, meanwhile, are up to in the Himalayas. The Chinese forces are unilaterally trying to change the status quo. They are trying to encroach on Indian territory. They have been boosting troops along the line of actual control, building entire villages near the LAC. China's arrogance knows no bounds, but India's military prowess is not to be taken lightly. In September of this year, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated 90 infrastructure projects in 11 states and union territories along the border. These projects include bridges, roads and tunnels designed to serve both civilian as well as military needs. These measures will significantly aid the government's strategic goals. In times of war, they will facilitate the swift and efficient movement of the troops, of defense equipment, of artillery and other essential supplies. And during times of peace, they will act as engines of growth, bringing trade and tourism in these remote areas of India. India realized the need to expedite these border infrastructure projects following the Galwan conflict between Indian and Chinese troops. That episode has served as a stark reminder that the Chinese ambition needs to be checked. And in case there is a need for a reminder, India is more than armed and ready. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.